The last thing I want to talk about in this series is variables. So I've been mentioning that blueprints, you can modify the instances, they can all be slightly different from one another, but still be able to iterate them quickly. But so far, all of our blueprints have been exactly the same. So I'm going to turn physics back off. We had that on in the last video. And I'm going to hit play. And they're all exactly the same. And I want to have some variation. I want to keep the blue box, that's nice, but maybe if they all had a different speed of rotation, that would be really nice. So it's not so boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our blueprint. I'm not using this right now, so I'm going to just delete it. And we're not using this, so I'm going to delete it. So our rotation, everyone is rotating 1 unit every frame. I want to create a variable. So we're going to split this up. And if I drag this out, I can promote to variable. If you don't see that, make sure that context sensitive is checked off. So I'm going to do promote to variable. And let's call this rotation speed. So I want each of my blueprints to have its own rotation speed. Now there's a few ways I can modify this value. I can give it a default value, so I could give everyone 0 and no one's going to spin. And I hit play and no one is spinning at all. I'm going to break this pin really quick so that no one spawns when I hit event begin play. I'm going to drag these in. And if I make this variable public, I'm just going to turn this little eye icon. So closed, it's private. We're going to make this public. If I do that, and I select my blueprint, under default, I have rotation speed. And I could give this a speed of 10, and I could give this a speed of 1. And I could hit save and play, and now I have one rotating very quickly, and one rotating really slow, but they're both the same blueprint. Now, going back to my example, when I have 20 blueprints, it might be really annoying to have to individually set every single speed. So let's get rid of these guys. So something we can do if we want to set a different speed for all of our blueprints is we can utilize the construction script. So the construction script gets called each time a blueprint is spawned or created. So let's set the rotation speed. So I'm going to bring this over and do set rotation speed. And let's give each one a random value. So we'll just do random float between, I don't know, 0 and 10. Great. So each blueprint we create is going to have its own individual rotation speed. Let's bring this back in. And we had set this up in an earlier video if you hadn't watched. And now I'm going to, when I hit play, this loop is going to happen 20 times, creating 20 instances of my blueprint. And then each time a blueprint is created, it's going to get a individual random rotation speed. So let's hit play, and there we go. As we can, if we look closely, some are definitely going faster than others. This one's going very, very slow, and the one next to it's going much faster. So that's already a little bit interesting. And of course, we can have as many different blueprints as we want. So let's just make one more. And we'll call this like a sphere. And let's bring in another static mesh. And we'll do a sphere here. There we go. Bring this up a little bit. Let's give this a material. Sure. And we'll also use a vent tick. And let's have this we're using rotation here. So let's do locations. We'll do add world offset, and we'll just have them go up. Okay, great. And we'll hit save. All right, so I have event begin play. Let's bring in less. And then on a key press, we could bring in maybe 5 more of these sphere blueprints. So when I hit play, we're going to get 5 of the box blueprints. And when I hit the space bar, I'll get 5 of the sphere blueprint. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do spawn actor from class. This time the class will be BP sphere. And let's also give them random locations. Whoops. And let's break this up. And there, and we'll put this not quite as high. All right. So I hit play. I have my 5 cubes rotating. I hit the space bar, and I have my 5 spheres floating into space. Or I'm sorry, 6. Right, because this is inclusive. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 and 6. So there we go, 6 and 6. All right, I hope you enjoyed.